We are back here on Girl Talk. We're on a field trip at Custom Audio Video with our friend Sean Stewart. It's great to see you.
Great to see you too.
Movies. Now that I have time at night, I love to sit with my little whatever and find a good movie. What's the trend? What's going on with movies this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, just like 2020 changed everything for almost everything.
So true.
The movie industry, the entertainment industry has been changed quite a bit as well. I mean, obviously, people aren't really going to theaters right now, and movie companies are making some adjustments. So one of the big things that we're seeing, and it actually was pretty big news back in December, Warner Brothers decided, hey, we're going to release every single movie we release in 2021, both to theaters and to HBO Max streaming.
Oh, wow.
Simultaneously. So right at the beginning, so you can watch it from home. Wonder Woman 1984 was the big one back in January.
Oh, I actually did see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the shift. They're going like, people aren't going to see movies in the theater, but we still want them to see our movies.
Yes.
So what are we going to do? And they're working towards moving it towards streaming at home.
So how does that impact you all?
Well, what we've seen is a big increase in people who want to put a home theater or some sort of movie watching space in their home. And even we're starting to see a resurgence of new builds building dedicated theaters again.
Oh, are you? Okay.
Yeah, we had seen a downward trend in that, kind of looking for multi-use rooms. But now people are going, hey, this is something that is very valuable to have in a home.
Can I ask you, a movie watching space, what would that look like, and what kind of a room would be conducive to that?
Yeah, so it all depends on what you've got. I mean, we're sitting in a space that nobody would come in and go like, this is a theater.
No,
right?
They wouldn't at all.
It's part
Looks
library.
like a library.
It's kind of that multi-use room.
Yes.
It can be a living room, or it can be that dedicated space. When you walk in, you go, hey, this thing is only used for a theater, right? It's treated walls, those kind of things. So it can really be anywhere in your home that you want it to be.
So from a product point of view, are there different products to service that particular need? In other words, I could just sit at home. Well, I've got 19 or 2000 TV. It's an old credit, but I can still get stuff.
Right.
But I'm sure there are many options out there.
Yeah. I mean, and it's like anything that we do, kind of depends on the needs of the client and the wants of the client. And the means. I mean,
Sure, resources you've got. So what are some of the options?
Yeah, so, kind of just straightforward TV with a simple sound system is kind of the beginning, because nobody wants to have a great picture and terrible sound when you're watching a movie at home.
True.
Or you can step up to kind of what we got in here, which is just good speakers all around to give you a good surround sound. Or we have our theater space that has an incredible sound system in it, and probably more speakers than some people have in their home overall, and it's in one space because it really gives you that complete experience. Now the price range on that, it's a bit higher, but some people do want that experience at home.
Well, because you're going to have it over time too.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and a lot of family memories are made in those places.
Oh, that's kind of cool to say it even that way. Yeah. What about projectors? Are people using a lot of projectors now?
Absolutely, yeah. So TVs have improved quite a bit. And now the average size TV going into a home is about 65 inches rather than a few years ago being 55 and even smaller before that. But if you're going to go over 85 inches on a TV or on a display, projector is really where you want to go. The value, the cost for TVs over 85 is just astronomical compared to going to a projector where you can go much bigger.
So if I have a projector, is it the old school pull down the screen?
It doesn't have to be.
Okay.
So, there are screens like that. You can also do walls.
Walls
painted in a particular way. But screens are always the best.
Okay. For clarity and all that kind of jazz?
Right. It doesn't seem like it should be, or we don't really think about it, but more than just white, a good screen is going to catch that light and reflect it back to you in the best possible way.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna hear what you say about this. What's more important, the quality of the picture on my TV or the sound that it emotes?
That is 100% personal.
Wrong answer.
Yeah, we have people that are like, hey, I just want a decent TV, but I love the surround sound. I love hearing it all. I want the big booms and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And other people go, hey, I want to hear it pretty well, but I want the biggest, best screen you can give me.
Exactly.
Some people are visual, some people are audible.
That's true. The older I get, I just want the subcaptions under there so I can look and read and actually comprehend all of it. So talk to me a little bit, if you will, about you all coming out, the professionals coming out. Can you help guide me?
Yeah, absolutely.
So how does that work with your designers?
Yeah, so get one of the designers out there. They're going to take a look at the space that you're considering to put a theater in. Because there's a lot of things to consider, particularly with speakers around, getting wire to them, to power them, to get them signal. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration that somebody who's trained like our designers knows to look for, that most people don't even think about.
Right.
But our designers know to look for it, to ask about it, and to plan around it.
And I don't know that we really talk about this that much, but what's the difference, do you think, between buying a television from a big box store or from buying a television here? You've educated me, so I think I actually could answer this. But.
Yeah, so I mean, depending on the model, you can find it in a lot of places. We supply models that you can find at big box stores.
Okay.
But a lot of time, big box stores have models that are kind of, for lack of a better word, dumbed down.
Okay.
Or made to be at a lower price point.
Okay.
It's one of the things we always warn about, those great Black Friday prices.
Right.
The TV, the manufacturers aren't just going to go, hey, let's just
Get
make
our
less
best
money.
Right.
Right. They're just making TVs at a lower price for that time period.
What are questions that I would ask when I come here about TVs? Are there different, like you said, are there different, I don't even know the right word, calibers?
Yeah, so I mean, there's definitely model lines for each
Okay.
manufacturer where you're kind of starting at good TVs at a decent price, all the way up to
Fantastic.
the newest technology, the best picture quality. Everything, sound, picture. I guess the ultimate goal is to get to what the director wants you to experience purely. And with the best TVs and the best sound systems, we're trying to reach that, whatever that director wants us to hear, wants us to experience.
Every time we talk, I learn something more.
Good.
It's really interesting. It really is. Thank you. Thank all of you for joining us here on Girl Talk. Have a safe and wonderful week. Bye-bye.